Okay, welcome to PartyQuest. I'll be starting by demonstrating a playthrough of the first part of the game, or one section of the game that I've built, and then after that, near the end of the video, I will also demonstrate all the skills, well, most of the skills that you can play with, kind of demonstrate some of the different play styles that are possible. So let's get started. So when you first start in PartyQuest, you will appear at a base camp. You'll notice a campfire here. This is where you can rest and save, and then there's also another adventurer here. So in PartyQuest, what's happened is that you're just, another adventurer from another dimension in time, and you've all ended up somehow into this new dimension, and you're trying to get your way back home, and to do that you need to climb the tower. So if you talk to this adventurer, they kind of give you an introduction to what's going on. I'll save that for you to do at your own leisure. This is a combat dummy where you can test your skills. And then this is just a chest. It'll randomly give you a potion. There's a blacksmith, so here, you can learn about the different kind of equipment that you can play with, and also you can craft it. So, you get build a wooden bow, magic tomb, heavy armor, that kind of thing. I've already done a playthrough, and so I have some items here, and I already upgraded some of my equipment, and I've also learned one skill as well. I just assigned that to my quick pocket, which is the same, but the item that you see here is like a dedicated button rather than having to activate a special secondary skill slot. Here are more NPCs. They don't really look their part, but this one's accessorizer, so you can buy more accessories here. So there's ones that give you extra jumps, that kind of thing, or better magic. This one is where you can cook your items. They'll give you like boosts and stuff like that. So some of them will give you maybe perhaps remove poison or light up the area around you, that kind of thing. So you can kind of make the run easier for yourself by buying some of these items. Oops. In fact, do I? No. This one is where you can learn skills. So here's all the skills in the game that you can get, which I'll demonstrate most of these later. They're quite fun. Yeah, and here's kind of the critical one. You can sell all your items to the collector, and the collector will give you gil based on like how rare the items are. That allows you to buy and upgrade gear, or go to the cook and buy more potions. So I'm just going to do that. And I think I will try buying a couple candles as well. And the key thing with PartyQuest is that you need to actually equip your items ahead of time. So what you take out with you in these four, plus this guy, these 4 or 8 slots, or 9 slots, is what you get to take on the run with you. So you kind of have to think about your whole gameplay, that kind of thing, before you go ahead. So if you go to this NPC here, they'll take you into the dungeon. This here is just a portal that is kind of like a quick portal. So if you don't want to deal with the walking the whole way, you can just go here and start the game immediately. So here you'll notice that we have different kinds of enemies. I got a basic walker, and then you have this charge type, you know, they'll kind of charge at you. The walker really just absorbs damage and will just walk into you without care. Then you have a soldier type, which is the skeleton you see here. They're a bit smarter than the other ones. Yeah. So this stage doesn't have too much to it. I believe it's just kind of an explorer stage. Oh, got a rare or an uncommon item. Yeah, so some stages have puzzles and requirements, others don't. This stage is the example of the light stage. So if I do that, I actually have a better light radius. So without the candle, it makes it kind of a bit more difficult to play. But yeah, so it's kind of the fun part about this is a little bit of exploration. Don't really know what you're gonna run into. And as you go through the tower, you know, each floor that you go to next is randomly selected. So every run is familiar but different. So if you know the floor, if you memorized some things, then it makes it quite easy. So here, for example, I know the code because I designed this level. Yeah, but if you don't, it might take you a few times to go through and do that. And then here is example of a switch level, and some of these level design features like switches can be combined with other ones like the darkness or teleporters, and so you can get all kinds of interesting level designs. So there you go. So some of these switches may be random order. Other ones might be fixed, so you don't really know until you kind of like try them all out. It may be indicated differently by the graphics, but yeah. That bow and arrow. So that level is kind of like it's supposed to be kind of like a filler level, but also kind of fun where you're supposed to like run away from monsters, but it didn't really work out that way. Yeah, this one, I believe you just have to kill all the monsters on it, so there's quite a few differences in these levels. So you can see at the top right of the video that the portal is locked, so in order to open it there'll be different requirements. This one I know you have to kill all the monsters, and in the future I'd like that to be reflected by the lock on the portal. I can do this, can't I? Yeah, I can't use that skill because because I'm not high enough level to use it. So if you can see here, yeah, requires level 8 and a sword, so. Ah, I want that. So sometimes you can cheese it like that, which is nice. Saves you from getting hurt. Gosh. Perfect example. Right, so this level is unique in that you need to pay the toll guard tickets in order to get through. So the mysterious tower does have custodians in charge of upkeep of the tower, and you have no idea who's actually running this tower, which is kind of funny. So one thing that I keep forgetting is that the sword clay class actually has a unique ability that can just negate all damage, which is nice. So I might have to change it because it's kind of like too good. And then another nice thing is that you can actually keep all the key items that you get. So you can stock up on yellow tickets here and use them in your next run. So you can remove a little bit of the RNG element if you want to do a speed run and see how fast you can do it. And then we have notorious jump quests, which are one of my favorite but also most aggravating quests. I wonder if I can do it on the first shot. Yeah. Alright. Oh, okay. This is the first boss of the game. And you can kind of cheese it if you're the swordsman. Right now, not gonna lie. Especially with this shield skill, like that just makes it pretty easy. But that is kind of the point of the swordsman class, to be able to go in there and just do damage and take damage. So to be balanced, but yeah. The nice thing that I'd like to do later on is scale this with players. So if there's more players, you know, they'll be harder, that kind of thing. So that's a boss stage. What you saw me get there is called a boss token. these are how you can learn spells. Not all boss tokens will work for all skills or spells. You might need to get like a more rare boss token in order to learn a more powerful spell. So this is a rest area. You can rest at that campfire. Unfortunately, I kind of jumped the gun there. But that's kind of end of the video, or not end of the video, that's the end of the run. So in the future there'd be, you know, that's just section 1 of maybe 5, and each time you graduate to another section there's harder levels and harder monsters and bosses until you need to upgrade your gear and learn new skills in order to make it easier for you to get to the top. So with that, I will now demonstrate some of the cool skills available to play. So here I've maxed out everything. So let's just stick with the sword. I will put on some extra fun stuff. But here I'll assign some skills. As a swordsman, you do have access to, well, actually any class can use a fireball because fireballs are fun. But given your elemental or magic damage, you probably won't be doing much magic, or yeah, you probably won't be doing much damage with it. And you also have access to a light heal spell, which is nice. So here's the blade wave, and then here is that is the, what is that? The ultra slash, I think. Mega slash, yeah. So you have mega slash, kind of cool. Does a massive chunk of damage, and then you have blade wave. And then you also have this skill to improve your attack for a short amount of time and also improve your defense. So now that blade wave does 128. So you can see how the swordsman can just be a mega damage dealing monster. Yeah, it's kind of fun on that count. Then kind of got my favorite. Yeah, this is kind of like my favorite play style because you can shoot from afar, and different bows or better bows will allow you to shoot more arrows and shoot faster. So the archer is kind of like about using kind of some neat skills and shooting from afar while not having the best attack or defense. You know, they got some other tricks. So, you know, prime one being is multi-shot, another one being cannon arrow. Then they also have my all-time favorite, which is bomb shot, and then additionally there's piercing shot. So multi-shot is great because you can be on a different platform and launch this, and if there's no monsters in front of you, it's just gonna find the nearest monster, like regardless of position, and it'll just, you know, shoot them. So I'm like being stuck with just like this horizontal shot. If you're using multi-shot, it allows you to just hit them from anywhere. The alternative, you have the cannon arrow, which is not an alternative, it's just a giant arrow. It'll just, you know, do damage to everything it sees. You also have piercing shot, which will go through enemies. It's just a regular arrow though, so it's kind of nice though because you can just fire through things. And then lastly, my favorite one, which is the bomb arrow, which you don't see it demonstrated here, but if there are multiple enemies, then it will also hit those if it's in a certain destination radius. And additionally, as a bowman, you get a little melee attack instead of a shield to do some melee stuff and also knockback. So here you can see that I can actually knock back the combat dummy, which is nice. So when you have a bunch of enemies like coming in and on your turf, you can just push them away. And the better your bow is, the further knockback it will be. Or you can get additional items that cause better knockback as well. So you might be able to send enemies flying if you're like a super awesome bowman. And then lastly, we will switch to the mage, which is kind of a dual class because they have access to the healing spells and also the elemental spells. So this is kind of where the mage is 2-in-1. You know, you have the swordsman, which is the melee, get in there. You have the ranged bow and arrow, which has some neat tricks. And then you have the mage, which can do healing and or elemental. And they are the ones that will probably do the most damage in the game, given the fact that they have an elemental multiplier. So if you are fighting like an ice giant and use the Inferno, that's going to do double damage. So if you have, there isn't really a way for the, well, I mean at this time there isn't really a way that I've designed for either other classes to do that, unless they get like a fire sword or something like that. But even then, it'll probably not be as great because mages get a lot of area of effect skills, as well as like singular shot skills. So yeah. So here's, you know, that's Inferno. It's a vortex of fire, and then additionally, you know, this is like the first skill you get is the very simple fireball. Then you have gravity. This is a dark spell. It's like Inferno, but does dark elemental damage instead, which actually, dark is the most powerful element in this game. And then you have a lightning spell. There is a Azure Lightning. It has a different elemental attack damage. I think it's fire instead of wind. And yeah, there might be some changes to things there. Then additionally we have heal. I'm not really gonna, I mean I could demonstrate this. Yeah, oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to do this. So this is the heal spell, heals you, very simple. You also have Dispel, I believe, or sorry, not Dispel. This one is Safety. So this prevents one-shot kills, which is handy for bosses. You have Dispel as well. You have Empower, which doubles the party's HP, which is pretty nice. Let's see if I cast that now. Yeah, so everyone's HP in the party is like doubled. So this is super effective for, you know, the hardest bosses in the game. You're gonna have to have this skill, I believe, on some bosses. That's just the way it'll be designed. That or you can just try to tough it out. Well, I mean, they'll probably be way better players than I will ever be, so yeah, they'll probably be able to solo it, but I won't. Yeah. So in addition, we have an ice spell here, and then we have a tornado spell, which is fun. Then we have kind of like my two favorite skills of the game. You have haste, and haste is awesome because you get double jump. And if, I think I was saying earlier, but if you have, the skills all scale based on your level. So haste gets like 3 jumps at level 50 or something like that. So it'll make jump quests like super easy, like giving you stuff to actually like land this as well on the correct platform. But you know, if you miss the platform, you can use that extra jump to save yourself. Sorry. And then if you combine it with what is this, Shadower, I think, or not Shadower, what did I call it? Haste and Evader. Yeah, Haste and Evader are the best. So, oh yeah, you can't attack while using Evader, but if you cast Haste ahead of it, ahead of Evader, then you can have a really fast shadow. Yeah. There we go. So you can't get hurt, but as soon as you attack, it comes out. Oh, and then the other... Oh, I need to fix this. Yeah. As the mage, you have to actually meditate all your magic, so currently it's broken. Teehee. But yeah. So as a swordsman, you actually build charge, so you can see that by attacking. So that's how you are able to do things. But the bowman actually is really nice because you just have to have it equipped and they auto charge. They don't need to do anything. They don't need potions to charge their mana or anything like that. Like, they are just given kind of like one of the better perks, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of all the fun skills that I've added to the game. Didn't really go over like the lesser ones because they're kind of harder to demonstrate, like the healing and the dispelment and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of it. So thanks for watching. That's been an intro to PartyQuest.